everyone, so in today's video we're going to talk about technology for fitness. So it could be your Fitbit, your Apple Watch, any uses of technology that you're using for your fitness or to track yourself. Now it has become increasingly popular, however I do think there is a downside to it, and this is why I've chosen to do this video. So fitness apps, or the use of technology in fitness and tracking, has really become popular over the last past decade, I would say, since they were introduced, and it has really demonstrated factually that it has had positive engagement and influences on us in terms of our motivation and greater levels of physical exercise. Now, if you caught the intro, the reason I've decided to do this video is because I do believe, and I've seen it with myself, that you can become, there's a fine line of where you need to check in with your mental health. Now, if you have a PT, that's great, because your PT should actually monitor and be able to monitor if you are becoming, for example, addicted to it. So although it's had an increasing benefit to us, and really I'll go through some of the benefits, I've got my notes here, to motivating us in compared to people that are not using fitness apps, and that's what's been proven scientifically. Yeah, I do believe technology has its limitations, and so one thing we know is that the calorie expenditure is not 100% accurate. Okay, so for example, have you ever forgotten your Fitbit on after putting for a walk or something, just because you want to make sure you get the calories in and it shows how much steps and stuff? Or for the steps, I didn't know this until recently, but like even the movement of your arms can count as steps in a certain way. So the novelty of technology does wear off, and there can be typically a drop in motivation that leads to low retention rates. Yet I still do believe that it's extremely positive. The most effective technology methods or apps really help us monitor health, fitness, and behaviors around those to achieve the physiological needs that we want to achieve and our goals. The most effective, I would say, are the devices that we wear and our mobiles. I think they're the most effective and accessible for us. Now, it can also promote sustaining healthy behaviors, such as promoting autonomy. So if you're new to fitness and health, promoting autonomy would be that it gives you awareness around your, let's say, your daily calorie expenditure. If you've got a PT or you've got a coach, they'll allow you to understand how much you need if your body was just to lay in bed all day, and balance that out with your fitness program. And so you start to become aware, and you also start to see your heart rate, etc., and what really pumps up your heart, how you feel and how it's mirrored here. Eventually I can sometimes guess where my heart is. Most often I'm within that range where I can guess where my heart rate is at that time. So it really can help you self-determined with your goals. And there's also apps that help with choice of modality. So exercise instruction and physical progress, like graphs and metrics, and relatedness, interactivity with a social support network, and a sense of belonging to a community, which is really, really important for us as humans. Now, you might turn to your personal trainer for recommendations, and trainers really need to be able to evaluate. They are humans though, coaches, we are humans, but we should be able to evaluate and screen the ones that are able to provide you the most accurate in terms of valid information, reading and matrix, and what would be probably most user-friendly for you to target your behaviors help you achieve your goals. Now, in addition to that, I did a recent post, and it was really about how's your mental health while having your fitness app. So in summary, we've said it really promotes some healthy behaviors. It helps you stay focused on your goal, helps you achieve your goal. It can help you see your progression in terms of metrics. It also gives you programming if that's accessible on your fitness app. It provides you with client autonomy, provides you with autonomy, and provides the client of a PT with autonomy, which is really important because your coach should always provide you with autonomy and awareness so that you have the skills and the education and not withhold those things from you. So make sure you are getting that from your PT, from your coach. It helps you track your own progress, like I said, and it can provide you awareness around more calorie dense foods and the different calories and how much each gram is according to a calorie and how much you need to burn, etc. I think it's great in terms of sleep tracking because we really don't know when we go into the deep sleep whether we've had a good sleep, especially if you're a light sleeper. So nutrition tracking, and they also can be financially friendly because there's a wide range of them and there's wide branding, so I think they're accessible to everyone, which I think is absolutely great. It doesn't have to always be the latest brands and gadgets. Most of them, if you're looking for the basic needs, do mimic the same thing. Some of them are just more advanced depending on what you need. Now, one thing that you need to check in with is that, is it of an advantage to you, or is it starting to be of a disadvantage where it's triggering behaviors that may cause a negative effect on your self-perception and achieving your goals and just how you feel. So taking your fitness app and comparing it with your friend on your daily expenditure at the end of the day, or steps, or after an exercise that you've done together, that can make you feel, you could feel bad, you could feel negative about yourself because you haven't burned as much as your friend in the same class, or your heart rate has not gone up the same as, or you've not had as many steps. So how is your mental health with that? Is it becoming that, oh, today I did a great workout, but then you realize that actually I've only burnt what my calorie expenditure is, and I haven't burnt out the extra, which I'm trying to get into a balance of calorie in and out, or I'm trying to be in a deficit. Is it making you feel inadequate? Are you getting addicted to balancing those calories in and out? Unless you burn more calories than you consume, even though you don't have a goal to lose weight, you feel that you're in a state of comparing your self-worth, or your self-worth somehow diminishes because you've had such a day on where you haven't burnt your ideal level. And does that mean that you're also doubling up the next day on fitness, extra cardio, an extra hour of cardio? But what might have happened where you've not burnt as many calories is that you've actually given yourself a more steady paced day during the day, and you're having your heavier workout if you're into resistance training, whatever your session is, in the evening. But on other days you try to make sure that you get some movement and walk and steps in, but on that day you felt like, I need a bit more of a steady pace, my body's asking me to. And that actually, for the following week or the following days, puts you at an advantage because you've listened to your body So I'm a healer and a yoga teacher, and I have really learned to listen to my body. And this is why I've actually brought this up, because I've noticed when I don't burn what I would like to burn on a daily basis, or with my workouts, because I used to be overweight, there is something that I would feel my self-worth diminishing inside of me. On a smart level, on a logic level, would I put weight on the next day? No, of course I wouldn't. Okay, if anything, it does your body favor, and you'd find an advantage. And also, if you do resistant training, it's very difficult to understand that resistance training, for you to grow your muscles, you need to add calories. Now, I will do a video on how to try to stay within a calorie balance or deficit, and other points around that in resistance training, because I only believe it's sustainable for a certain amount of time to keep your muscle. If you notice those that are have, if it's a female that has amazing glutes, she might not have ripped abs, because there's a level of calorie intake you need, that your muscles need to refeed. And so to have both goals, you either need to understand you're going to stay in endurance and hypertrophy, where you can do your resistance training, but you're also balancing to remain how you are and in a fitness, which is totally fine. But if you want to be in a calorie deficit and do lots of cardio, which also I'll be uploading a video in terms of cardio, because I think it has a bad name, but I understand one side of why it would, and the other side of why we would need to balance that. So you're doing a lot of cardio and you're doing resistance training. You might not be taking enough rest. I over-exhausted myself to the point where I would be overburnt. I'd know I'm getting there, but I couldn't. I would not stop and take a full rest day. I always have active rest days, but I've steadied that down. And it's really about what makes you feel good. But I've said in a video of mine before, and I've said in some shorts, don't compare yourself. Okay, know what your goals are, know what you need to achieve. If you need a coach to help you, get a coach, and make sure this coach provides you with the information and autonomy, but at the same time is there to help you. Sometimes we're really busy, and so a coach helps us just, I can't think what program I'm going to do today. I want to achieve this goal, or now this is my new goal, so I want to plan around it. And a PT, there's a science way that we put together your programs. It's not just any willy-nilly that's put together. And it's based upon assessments, and it's based about calories, it's based about on your body, it's based about on your goals. And it's really important that it's based around your goals, what you want to achieve, what you like as well. And I'm going down a rabbit hole, and that's why I usually have notes. So it's really important to know there are pros and cons, but if the cons are tipping heavier, you need to balance that out, okay? And whether that's, you might not feel you need help, it might be a coach, okay? Because they can tell you, trust me, this is probably what we need to aim at. And if not, we do a quick tweak and we can change things around. If you've been overweight or you've been underweight, and so you're very frightened of going from one end of the spectrum to the absolute other end, or back to the end that you was at, a coach is great, because a coach has maybe been there, which they can be relatable, and your PT should always be relatable. But the other thing is that they know how to put you on the program, achieve the goals, short-term goals. If you're not working to those short-term goals, it's tweaked before anything, before you get to your end goal. It has to be tweaked. So I hope this was helpful for you. Just check in with yourself and remember, it's there as something positive. It's there to educate us. It's not there to be that 101% accuracy. And you could be burning more than what's showing. You could be burning the same, but you're adding muscle, which eventually burns more as well. This is where it's not accurate. But make sure that the cons are not over tipping the pros of using your fitness app. Okay. And I'll catch you in our next video. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think of this video. You can also let me know if you would like me to cover another topic. And I'd love to hear from you if this resonated.